We won't need the sunglasses as much today. We'll see a few thin spots in the clouds, especially from Grand Rapids southward this afternoon. Here's a live look at our Allendale sky cam. Notice the flag kind of pointing towards the lakeshore, pointing west. East-southeast wind out there, which is interesting this time of year because you always have to take in consideration the wind. If it's out of the easterly direction, that means lakeshore areas are just as warm as inland areas. I'm sure folks out there enjoy that a little bit. But let's take a look at Storm Track Live radar. I also don't think we're going to need the umbrellas for much of this afternoon into the evening hours as this little area of rain starts moving out. You can see it's now out of the Grand Rapids proper downtown area. It's now shifting east around Canonsburg and areas just moving out of the Rockford area and Belding. As we drift a little bit further north, you can see a little more concentrated or deeper shades of green. That's where more likely to see it reach the ground from White Cloud. If you're heading north on M37, Newaygo over to Fremont area, the Bitely area, also around Hart and Shelby. But again, this is going to move on, and it's going to dissipate, and we'll have a dry afternoon to look forward to. Now here's a broader look outside, and you can see more rain to our west. This area of rain is going to be more concentrated and more heavy. It will move in sometime around midnight and thereafter. Let's track it and see if it's still on schedule. You can see eastern Iowa getting good soaking, not quite into the Dubuque area, but overall it should track into West Michigan, Lakeshore area sometime right around in the Grand Rapids area sometime right around midnight. Didn't work there, but let's try that. I still think it's going to be sometime right around the midnight time frame, and you can see it gives it around 11 o'clock. I think it's actually going to be a little bit later than that, but nonetheless, I think we're going to make it through the rest of the daylight hours for the most part dry. I want to show you the visible satellite loop because you can see a few thin spots in the cloud cover starting to make its way into Grand Rapids, and especially into Allegan County as well, and also towards Battle Creek, Coldwater. So there will be a couple peaks of sun here and there. You can also see that over southern Lake Michigan as the clouds thin out a bit. 52 degrees in Grand Rapids, 54 Kalamazoo. I think we'll peak today with temperatures right around 60, not that far away from our average highs for this time of year. And this is going to be one of the few days that we actually come close to our average high as a cool weather pattern continues as we finish out the month of April. Here's the wind out of the southeast and east, about 15 miles an hour. Will be with us around 10 to 20 miles an hour right on through the remainder of the afternoon. So a little bit on the breezy side. Here goes the rain showers. No 2 o'clock on the clock, and this will dissipate, move to the north. A few thin spots out there in the cloud cover as we roll into the evening hours, but off to the west, there's that line of rain that I was trying to track earlier. It's going to move in again right around the midnight time frame. Of course, first in our extreme western county, especially if you're in Muskegon northward, may get in just prior to midnight, but the bulk of the rain will actually move in after midnight. And look at this, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Looks like the windshield wipers will be going, but not an all-day rain event. Looks like during the afternoon as those showers move out, we'll see some clearing moving in with some sunshine. Here's what it looks like from the 8-day forecast. I mentioned cool pattern continuing, and that will take us right into this upcoming weekend. Average highs this time of year throughout the 8-day forecast about 62, 63 degrees. And you can see the vast majority of those days below average. And it looks like later in the period next week, the pattern is going to be such that area of low pressure just kind of sits around the Great Lakes. Not a very nice way to end April and begin May.
No.
No.
It isn't.
So hopefully it'll end a lot different.
We had Easter.
That's right. Yeah, it wasn't wonderful. Great timing in that respect, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was. Thanks, man.